Hi guys, today I'm here with Rachel Hickman, who works at Chicken House, but who is also an author. So I thought today we would talk a bit about publishing and your career in publishing, because I know it's something that a lot of my followers are interested in. So do you want to tell us a bit about yourself first?
Yeah, sure. So I'm pretty old now, but I've been in publishing probably about 25 years. I was originally in the Puffin Club as a child, and so I'm one of those boring people who knew what she wanted to do from the age of about 8. So I've been in publishing. I was at Puffin during the amazing years when we published Matilda and worked with Roald Dahl. I was very junior in those days. And then I went on to work at HarperCollins. And I should say that actually Barry Cunningham gave me my first ever job interview. So it's weird that here I am 25 years later still working with him. And then in 2000 we set up Chicken House Publishing, and we still feel like a new publisher, but it's not, it's been 17 years, and we've had some really good successes along the way.
Which is funny because I'm 17, so we're the same age.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is strange.
So yeah, you are absolutely of the Potter generation and Cornelia Funke, and yeah.
So what kind of thing do you do day to day?
I'm Deputy Managing Director, and I kind of think of myself as the kind of grim reaper opposite Barry, who is endlessly positive and exciting and rushes around. I'm a little bit calmer. I'm probably also the most visual person perhaps in the company, and I work with two fantastic book designers. I think that our list is quite often defined by covers and the look, and that's something that we spend a lot of time, and I spend a lot of time on.
Yeah, I love the cover of The Girl of Ink and Stars. I think that's like a real standout one.
Yeah, that was fantastic, that book. I mean, Kieran is a real joy to work with. That book emerged because originally it was quite short, but we knew that it was beautiful and lyrical and poetic, and we wanted to make it a bit special. So Helen and I, that's Helen Crawford-White, designer and artist I should say, talked about it, and Helen came back with various approaches, and initially some were a bit too sophisticated because it's one of those books that crosses between being middle grade but also obviously like all good children's books adults can read. That book was really special, and it was one of those moments when the visuals came in from Helen, who did the artwork too, and they were perfect.
What made you want to get into publishing other than a love of books? Why publishing?
Actually, originally I thought I might like to be a bookseller, but I suppose I went into publishing. I did the degree course at Oxford Brookes, and I suppose secretly I always wanted to be a writer, but I didn't have the confidence, and I think it was my headmistress who suggested it, and I was always interested in the marketing side of publishing rather than the editorial side, which is, I suppose, more unusual. But I guess marketing was great because it meant that, you know, I directly was working with authors directly and booksellers and journalists, and we didn't have bloggers and bloggers in those days, but we had old-fashioned playground chatter. So I kind of worked on that side of things.
What has it been like, because you've been in the industry so long now, what has it been like incorporating all the different changes in social media and things like that?
I think that social media is in many ways a godsend. I think it's a godsend for authors quite often because they're at home and it's quite a lonely business writing, and Twitter especially is a fantastic way to stay connected. I think that it's very easy on social media to forget that opinions are just opinions, and the noisiest aren't necessarily the most successful always. So it's like everything, you have to kind of balance up what noise to listen to. But I think it's fantastic for kids to communicate with each other about what they're reading, for book lovers, you know, book lovers like yourself really, to actually have a voice.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important, and you know, God, I wish we'd had that because it means that actually American writers suddenly can travel. You know, the world is the oyster. But I suppose the biggest change in publishing just is the sheer volume of books being published.
I mean, that's quite a thing when you're running a publisher as well. How many to publish? Has that changed? Are you publishing more now or less? I
would say that overall publishers are probably doing less, but that's only because I think we got to a point where everybody it was this kind of ocean of books, and you know, no one could breathe. So I think most publishers have cut their list to some extent, but that needed to happen because there was so much. The big houses probably had front list, and then they would have what, you know, I guess was called Midlist. It was kind of one in, one out. And I think that things have changed in that regard because the market has shrunk. The impact of Amazon has had a massive impact on retailers, as have the supermarkets, and whilst they bring many benefits too, it has meant a shrinking of bookstore bases. But that said, I think things have turned a corner, and for us, Waterstones, are fantastic at breaking out new authors. And I suppose at Chicken House, we never wanted to just grow. Yeah. We wanted to grow organically, and we wanted to be more successful with what we took on rather than necessarily rely on volume of titles. And of recent times, we've seen that happen. The success of Kieran Melwood-Hargrave or M.G. Leonard and obviously James Dashner has been huge for us. And before that, Cornelia Funke, who absolutely proves that an author in translation can absolutely work.
I think as well, for a smaller house, you can really concentrate on raising your authors up and having those lists. Some of my favourite authors of yours, I love Rachel Ward's books, Catherine Doyle, and to me it feels quite special with a smaller publisher as well.
Yeah, it's really funny because a lot of people ask us, what defines our list. If we knew that, I think we'd quite like to bottle it. But I think it's undoubtedly true because we're a really small team. There's only 9 of us, and 4 of us probably directly involved in acquisition. We know our taste, and Rachel and Barry in particular are very good at seeing the potential in something. Rachel will work really hard to kind of quietly tease that out, whereas Barry just kind of inspires writers to think they can do it. But once we've seen something that's a little bit different, it is about finding that. And certainly for me, visually and on the marketing front, it is all about finding a way of projecting that author.
So what advice would you give to someone who wants to work in publishing but maybe doesn't know how or doesn't know how to go about it?
Well, I would say that good old-fashioned, cunning work experience. Jazz, who works with us, was a work experience student, and she was really on it. And when we then later had a job vacancy, we actually gave her a ring. Work experience is invaluable because you can kind of make yourself useful. I would also say when I was doing my dissertation, I did my dissertation conveniently on the area of publishing I wanted to go into, so it meant I had to go and interview lots of people. Or doing what you do. Have a vlog, have a blog, have a profile. You've just got to put yourself out there, which is really hard if you're not that sort of person, but it's crowded, it's very London centric. We're unusual in being down here. Actually, you probably should go to London in the beginning and work with the big houses, because there is nothing like working at a place like Penguin or HarperCollins to kind of learn your trade.
So how do you think publishing might change again in the next 20 years or something? That since you've started, it's changed a lot. How do you think it will change a lot now?
God, will I still be here? Well, I think it's interesting how there's been a return to real books, and I think that is a really wonderful thing, even though we know that actually ebook publishing can be incredibly profitable. If you love books, you want to hold them. So in some ways I like to think that things won't change that much, but I think what will happen is that there'll be more and more being published, and it will be inevitably true that the same authors will rise to the top and be unbelievably successful, and everybody else, a bit like the way the music business is, will have to kind of work away at it and hope for lots of luck. But I think it will still be vibrant. I mean, the talent that is out there is not just a UK market, it is everywhere. And I think the other thing is that what publishing always shows is that publishers actually don't really know what they're doing. They don't know what's going to be the next big thing. You can have a taste, you can have an aesthetic, which we have, but ultimately the audience decides, and books just break through. I think interesting things will still continue to just come through.
So if there are a few books on your list that are coming out that you'd like to plug, what would they be that you're really excited about publishing?
I'm working on all the covers at the moment for our 2018 books. On the YA front, I would say I'm looking forward to a book called Things I'm Seeing Without You, which is really powerful, well written. I would also say that we've got a really curious middle grade title called Tin coming up that's a debut, which is fantastic. It's about children who are mechanicals. Looking forward to new novels from Kieran and M.G. Leonard. I'm looking forward to the Death Cure movie from James Dashner, because that always has a great impact and the fans look forward to whatever he does.
I think I'm most looking forward to Lindsay Moakes' novel.
Oh, the Breathe and See.
I've followed her on Twitter for ages and like we've been friends, and so to find out that she's finally got her book coming out, I'm so excited about it.
We have lots of great debuts coming out, and always the thing for me is to make them distinct so that they represent the author and just look fantastic against everything else.
So thank you so much. I'll leave the link in the description to where you can find all the details about Rachel's book, and there'll be a video in the future too where we'll be talking about One Silver Summer. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much.